Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 review podcast. And today we're doing When the Bough Breaks. And kind of a unique episode. Couple pretty famous guest actors that are guest stars in this episode. So Cindy, what do you know about this episode from the first season, When the Bough Breaks?
When the Bough Breaks is a fascinating episode of Star Trek The Next Generation's first season. It takes a darker and more thought-provoking approach to the idea of parenting, which was quite unusual for the series at the time. The episode explores the theme of parental responsibility and the difficult choices that parents have to make when it comes to their children's safety and well-being. The plot revolves around an advanced alien civilization that abducts human children to replenish their dying population, challenging the crew's moral compass and ethical boundaries.
Yes, and when it started off at the beginning, it's kind of fun and playful. Like they're investigating this planet, or they get reached out to by what seems to be nothing in space, and then the planet basically has been hidden for many years behind this kind of a cloak so that nobody can see it. Now, I always point out little flaws in logic that I, think of that, like, okay, hiding it is great, but what if somebody thinks, oh, there's nothing there, I'll just go to warp at those coordinates and ram into the planet or something. Like, I don't know how any of that works, but aside from that, it's kind of a cool concept.
That's a valid point. The idea of hiding a planet behind a cloak is certainly intriguing, but as you pointed out, it raises some logistical questions. It's a sci-fi concept that requires a certain level of suspension of disbelief, as the idea of accidentally crashing into a hidden planet at warp speed seems unlikely, given the technology and safety measures in the Star Trek universe. Nevertheless, it does make for an interesting plot device in the episode When the Bough Breaks.
So then they introduce themselves. They say, hey, we're a very secretive culture, but we have a little issue. We're all sterile and can't have children. So we'd like to make an offer with you. We'd like to take some of your children, or all of your children. I don't know. I can't believe that's all the children on the ship, but they essentially transport something like 10 or 13 of the kids, and maybe even less than that, 7, 8, something like that, off the ship, and say, we're going to keep these kids, and as a result, we'll compensate you with knowledge that, would take your science centuries to learn, whatever. They're obviously not happy with that deal. They start kind of a back and forth. Wesley is the eldest of all the kids that have been taken. He appreciates the culture and the people there, but decides, we need to kind of have a revolt and stand up against them, and try to coerce them into giving us back, that we're not gonna make it easy for them. We're not gonna just, sit idly by while they essentially kidnap us. We're going to try to do everything we can to get back to our parents and our ship.
That's right. The concept of an alien civilization offering to exchange knowledge for children is certainly intriguing, but the ethical implications are quite complex. Star Trek often explores moral dilemmas, and this episode is no exception. Captain Picard and the Enterprise D crew must weigh the benefits of scientific advancement against the moral imperative of protecting their own crew members and their children. Ripley's leadership in organizing a resistance highlights his maturity and leadership skills, particularly given his young age at the time.
Then two of the big guest actors in this episode, if you're familiar with pop culture and have watched any of these shows, the one guy, he plays other characters later on in the show. but I won't really talk about that right now. But the main thing is he also plays Deep Throat in X-Files. He's Mulder's main informant, and he works in high-level government and kind of alongside Smoking Man, and he had the deal with his father, and so there's like the part of the group dynamic that had all been a part to the alien project in the 50s or whatever, and so he's kind of trying to partially give Mulder some of that information. So he's well known from that, as well as other things, many appearances in other shows, as well as the female lead, the kind of young woman, and she's the youngest I've ever seen her in this show, was the O. Henry candy bar heiress in Seinfeld, the braless wonder. So you have two kind of notable guest actors in this episode.
That's correct. The episode features two notable guest actors, including Jerry Hardin, who plays the mysterious character as well as the iconic Deep Throat on The X-Files, and Nancy Marchand, who plays the wealthy and eccentric character, known as the braless wonder from Seinfeld. Both actors bring a unique presence to the episode with their strong acting abilities and recognizable personas.
And this is obviously well before either of them played those characters, so it's kind of interesting to see. I never really seen him this young. He still has pretty dark hair, not really super gray like he is in X-Files, and her I've never seen this young either. I mean, she appears to be like in her 20s in this, and Ellen Mischke, or whatever her name is in Seinfeld, she's beautiful, but she's more like in her mid-30s or something in Seinfeld. So just two little notes to add about the episode.
Yes, it's always interesting to see actors in earlier roles and compare them to their more well-known characters later in their careers. Jerry Hardin and Nancy Marchand are both talented actors who have played a variety of memorable roles, so it's interesting to see them in one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's true that they appear significantly younger in When the Bough Breaks. Hardin's appearance in the episode is earlier in his career, while Marchand appears to be in her 20s, much younger than her Seinfeld character.
So then basically you get to the ship trying to figure out ways that they can either kidnap the kids back, but they have strong technology and they show that they're powerful. They can knock the Enterprise something like 3, 4, 5 days away or a week away travel time, and they threaten them with saying, if you guys make this not work and you guys are going to continue to not want to make this deal, we'll knock you so far away that your kids will be in their 70s or 80s by the time you get back. And the way around this, they kind of solve it by Dr. Crusher is in part, she notices that they have sensitivity to light, that when they meet they want the lights dim, stuff like that, and she runs some scans on them, either discreetly or with their acceptance. Turns out they all have some kind of poisoning in there, like almost from, I don't know if it's chemical or if it's like a radiation, something to do with the shield that they have up, puts out a radiation that they all are being radiated on by having that shield up hiding their planet. And so as a result, it made all of them sterile and made them all have radiation poisoning as a result. So this means that they can't have kids. So here, this marvelous technology that they're so proud of, that has been passed on for generations, actually has been their undoing. So she is able to go back and undo that with treatments and take away the fact that they're all sterile, and be able to make it so that they can actually live a real life and be able to produce if they want, and kind of fix their situation.
The resolution of when the bow breaks is an interesting one. Dr. Crusher's realization that the alien civilization's population is sterile due to radiation poisoning and her subsequent development of a cure highlights her medical expertise and problem-solving skills. The aliens' initial offer to exchange children for knowledge appears to be misguided, as they unknowingly put the children in danger through their own advanced technology. The discovery that their own technological advancement is causing their sterility introduces a moral dilemma, as it raises questions about the cost of rapid technological progress. The episode ends on a somewhat hopeful note, as the aliens are able to have children naturally and the
Yes, and I liked in the episode that Crusher noticed while they were talking, while they came down to the planet, she noticed kind of early on their sensitivity to the light, stuff like that, which makes her character seem well informed as a doctor. That like just those little things, by noticing their sensitivity to the light, that there may be something going on that they're not aware of, that something like the radiation poisoning, and then she delves deeper and does some research into it, finds out they're all sterile, and puts it all together that it's radiation poisoning. And then they figure out from the computer and the technology that it's coming from the very shield thing that they have up that basically cloaks their planet.
That's true. Dr. Crusher's keen observational skills and medical expertise enable her to notice subtle signs of radiation poisoning in the aliens, which eventually leads her to uncover the truth about their sterility. Her ability to think critically and piece together information from various sources is crucial in solving the mystery and finding a solution. The episode highlights the scientific and medical aspects of the show, demonstrating how characters like Dr. Crusher apply their knowledge to tackle complex problems.
There's something I want to point out in this episode, and I find it kind of interesting, is that something that I've found interesting in a couple story elements is like, so people of, let's say, our modern time, right? All the technology we have. But if you actually delve into any of the specifics of the technology, the average everyday person knows how to use it, but they don't know how to make it, or they don't really know how it works. They just know how to use it. And it's kind of this culture's way as well. Like, they've got this super advanced computer and with the ability to do all these things, but they really don't know much about the inner workings of it, because it's just been passed down for years and years and needs to be fixed and needs to be maintained, which they haven't known how to do. And so it kind of goes to the way, like, humans are with everyday tools. It's like, yeah, we use them, but like, there's only a few, there's companies that make those that know how to actually engineer it. But if you ask your average everyday person, like, we'd have no idea how to make a cell phone, or how to make, half of these tools that we use every day and kind of take for granted.
Yes, that's a very astute observation. The portrayal of technology in When the Bough Breaks echoes real-life phenomena, where societies often rely on technology without fully understanding the inner workings or the potential risks associated with it. This can lead to unintended consequences, as seen in the episode, where the aliens' advanced technology inadvertently causes their own sterility. This notion resonates with our own modern society, where we heavily depend on technology without being fully aware of its limitations or how it impacts our lives and environment.
Yeah, kind of like when cell phones first came onto the scene, and there was all that speculation that, anybody that was using a cell phone, it was like causing radiation in their head and was going to be, giving you cancer or something, because of the signal leaving the phone, going to a cell phone tower, and back and forth. That wireless signal was transmitting, and by you having your phone up close to your ear, that it would be causing some kind of radiation. I mean, there was worry about that with microwave ovens, that like, if you were standing too close, maybe you'll get some kind of microwave fallout from that. And I know they do put on like this kind of protective lens or something on the inside of the glass that's supposed to like filter any negative particles from like escaping from that. But that's obviously one of the reasons that you can't operate a microwave with the door open.
Indeed, concerns about electromagnetic radiation from cell phones and similar technologies, as well as the safety of microwaves, were prevalent when these technologies were first introduced. While research has since refuted many of these fears, it's interesting to note that the same concerns are raised in When the Bough Breaks. The aliens' advanced computer system, while beneficial, has unintended consequences, leading to the discovery of radiation poisoning. This parallel serves to emphasize the importance of understanding the underlying principles of technology, even in a futuristic society like the one portrayed in Star Trek.
Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. It's been a pretty fun discussion. Is there anything you want to add before we end the recording?
Sure, I think we covered a lot of ground in our discussion. It's always enjoyable to delve into the nuances of Star Trek episodes and have thoughtful conversations about their themes and implications. If you don't have any more points to add, we can wrap up the recording here. Thanks for another engaging discussion.
Well, thank you. And thank you for tuning in and listening. We enjoy everyone, or more appreciate everybody that comes and listens to the podcast. It's something I'm definitely enjoying putting up. I enjoy these discussions. And so please, as always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the section about anything. This episode specifically, your thoughts about technology and using technology that the masses don't really even understand the inner workings of, and the repercussions of stuff like that. Also, if you do subscribe, make sure to hit the bell for notifications every time that we do put up a new episode, as well as other content on the channel. And that'll pretty much do it. Thanks, and see you next time.